Hey all, welcome back. I was explaining you about the cube, the Megaminx itself, and also the layers, how it forms the 5 layers, what the shape is, and so on. So, in continuation of what I said, we are going to talk about the terminologies that we'll be using in this clip for this particular solving this Megaminx, the conventions that you're going to use. So, as I said, this is the bottom layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, and the fifth layer. So what we will be using, imagine this when you are keeping like this, you are having a face in front of you. For example, let's say this is your face. The bottom portion will have 3 and you will have the pentagon shape on the top. So this is considered to be a face. And if you keep it like this, this will be your D and this will be your R and this will be your L. Okay, and conventionally they use either this or this. There is nothing that is specific for it. So I consider this to be right U, RU, and this is your LU. Okay, and the clockwise, anti-clockwise is the same for all. Since it is a pentagon, it has 5 different things. So it will be D dash or D prime, and then R prime, RU RU prime, LU prime, L prime. So this is the front side F. This is actually the F also, but we will be using F very minimally, sparingly. We will not be using much on this, but there are definitely places where we'll be using. So don't focus more on the conventions and the terminologies. Try to see the visual impact of it and you'll be able to solve this. And another important aspect that we need to know is the edges. So for solving this, even though we consider this as the face, we will have to align this in a slightly different fashion, because when you are solving this, if you want to solve this face is in inverted. Just imagine the same top in an inverted fashion, upside down. So that is what you're seeing here. So what you see as the top right edge, these are the edges. There are 5 edges to it. The bottom edge and the center left, center right, and the top left, top right. So these are center edges, right? It gets just inverted here. This becomes the top edge, and then top center left, top center right, and then this is your bottom left and then bottom right. And this is very important because when we get into solving this, these colors have to align. And how we are going to solve this, I'll explain it in a moment. But keep in mind that there is, when I say edges, these are the center ones which are not having the corners, which are not actually the corners. The edges are the ones that are sandwiched between 2 corners. These are of course corners, right? The points that you're seeing, these are all corners. And these corners, again, there are 5 corners here. This will become 5 corners here. It will continue. So it's going to be slightly complicated for me to explain and for you all to understand it. But as we go through it, you'll get, I believe we'll be getting a clarity on what we are talking. So assume these to be the corners and these are the edges. Anything that is not having a free third side, it has only 2 sides, they are all edges. Okay, these are all 2 sides, 2 faces. And anything that has three colors in it are corners. You can keep that as a convention. Since it is dodecahedron, it doesn't really matter, and we are not going to follow conventions like this where you have this as a corner and these are edges, because these can potentially, if you change it, they are in the same shape. But here what becomes the corner here will become, for example, this is your bottom corner, right? So it becomes the top corner when you invert it, and obviously the changes will happen as we rotate the pentagons. So let's focus on edges, corners, and then we will go into the conventions of the movements for us to get the right piece fixed in the right place. And we will be following a lot from the 3x3 Rubik's in the form of aligning the pieces or inserting the pieces. For example, what we used in this 3x3, give me a minute. In this 3x3, if you see these, we formed the first layer and then we went into the second layer by keeping the center and the this edge intact and then fixing these 2 edges, and then we went to the top. We will also follow the convention, same convention here, where we will form the first layer. Then we will keep the center and the edge intact for each of those, and then we will fix these edges, which is similar to the two edges here, right? And then once we are done with it, we will go into the inverted top. So the way we are going to do this is fix the first layer. This is your first layer, and then you fix the second layer by using the same terminology that we used in the 3 by 3. For example, in this we had 3, and then we had the center aligned, and we also had the edges from here or here. We will move this edge here, and then fix the second layer, and we will follow the same here. We will have the first layer, then the second layer fixed. Once we are done with the 2 layers, we are not going to focus on this, rather we are focusing on the inverted top, and we will go into the inverted top and fix the inverted top with the centers only. Forget the edges for the moment. So these two, the pieces that I am showing, are the ones that we will be fixing as a third step. And once we are done with this, we will have the bottom edges of the inverted top fixed. Keep in mind, your second layer has to be intact, and your inverted top that you are seeing here, the centers have to be fixed, and the bottom corner, and then you will have the bottom edges. So you will see 1 2 3 4, these 4 being fixed. That will be the next step. That is the fourth step. The first step is to fix the first layer. Second step is the second layer. The third step is the inverted top and inverted pentagon and your center and the bottom edge, bottom corner. So this is what you will be fixing. Then you will fix the bottom edges, the 2 edges that are here. So this 4 will be fixed for each of the pentagon in inverted top. So that will be the fourth step. Then we will fix the fifth. And keep in mind, if you have fixed these and then you are fixing this, you already have the third layer covered for this. So that will be your fifth step, and then your third layer will be finished. Then we will use the same methodology that we are using for fixing the second layer in an inverted fashion here, right? So what you did for this top is valid. For example, let me show the yellow. So you have this yellow. For you to fix, the center is already there, the edge is already fixed as part of the first layer. You fix these 2 edges, the left and the right centers. What you did here will be exactly valid for these 2 when you fix this. Just imagine that you are sitting here. So these and this, you already fixed the first, second, third layers, and when you fix this layer, it becomes a fourth layer fixed. That leaves us with the last layer on the top, and your last layer will be always like we normally do with the last layer. We have this. The main difference being what we used as 1. For example, if I want to move the center here, I'll say RU R prime, UR U2 R prime. So this will actually move the centers, right? And for you to do it once, you will have to do here twice. Instead of RU R prime, UR U2 R prime, we'll say U3 R prime. And same way, for you to move the pieces, we use we use the UR U prime, U prime, L prime, all those formula, right? We will have 2 moves on this because there are 4. There are actually 5 edges compared to the 4 edges here. So you will have to do twice. As we go into the formula, I'll be putting all the formulas and the descriptions. You can watch into it. It's slightly complicated than the other layers, other Rubik's cube. That's what I was about to say. So we will again scramble this, and then we will start with the session. As I said, my boy will be taking you through the journey of how he understood this, and I always wanted a third perspective of how people are looking into it, and my boy being one of the candidates who was interested in this and who learned it, I want to see how he has understood it and how he picked it up. And from there we will see if there is more clarification needed. Please feel free to give a comment. I would be glad to explain this. So with that explanation, I'm taking a break. The next clip will be from my boy. Till then, have a small break there. Thank you. Bye bye.